This is Cult Film Face-Off.
Hello and welcome back to Cult Film Face-Off, episode 53. With me, as always, is Chet Roivas.
Hello.
And I am Nick Leonard. In this week's episode, we are looking at a pair of threequels from the Golan Globus team at Cannon Films. First out the box is Ninja 3, The Domination from 1984, directed by Sam Fistenberg. An evil ninja attempts to avenge his death by possessing an innocent aerobic instructor's body. Ninja 3.
He is the most feared and powerful warrior. A ninja who breaks from ancient tradition and explodes onto America. His soul possesses the body of an innocent woman and transforms her into a lethal assassin. Who are you?
I want to help her.
Her only hope, the master ninja. Where Revenge of the Ninja left off, Ninja 3 begins. An epic struggle of superhuman strength and supernatural forces. Ninja 3, The Domination.
So, Chet Roivas, Ninja 3, what you saying?
Well, yeah, I'd never seen it. I first became totally aware of it when it was in that Ausploitation document. Sorry, not Ausploitation. Made by the same guys about Cannon. What's it called? Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. And it looked like a lot of fun, and people were saying it was, a good bad movie. I don't think it is a good bad movie. I think it's just a straight down the line, no redeeming features bad movie. I mean, normally I like movies that start with a 20-minute action sequence. But when the action's this badly choreographed and it's lethargically edited, and it did the classic Cannon thing. It's the classic cheap movie thing, but it's something that I always associate with Cannon, where you see a chopper and you're like, okay, is that chopper going to blow up, or is it going to disappear behind some rocks?
And then the smoke
comes up. Lo and behold, that's what happens at the beginning. This is Cannon, during this period especially, what they did was everything faster, everything cheaper. So that extends to everything. Even the music. Some of the music is so diabolically bad, I couldn't believe it.
It features some of the worst music I've heard in any film.
Why did they even...
Terrible.
Yeah, shocking. But,
this film has a really good... I've seen the trailer loads of times for Ninja 3 Domination over the years, and I've been like, I really need to find this film. And yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It's not even good. It's not even... It was... I found it long. It wasn't long. I think it was barely 1 hour 20.
To be honest, I the whole time I was watching this, I was thinking, I wish I was napping. So, I mean, I'd advise anybody who's thinking about watching this movie to go and have a nap.
Yeah, I mean, the only things to kind of... Well, certainly stand out is that, I mean, if you're a fan of 80s nostalgia, I mean, this has got it in bucket loads. From ninjas to aerobic classes, really bad music, arcade machines. I mean, it is so 80s. The aesthetic is so 80s. But it's not funny or bad enough to warrant recommendation. There's some quite odd sequences. There's an odd sequence where the aerobics instructor is with this policeman, and they're just about to embark on a bit of heavy petting basically. Right. And she opens up some V8 vegetable juice and just pours it all over her body. I mean, that's pretty odd.
Yeah.
I kind of just went, Well, I mean, it made me laugh.
But this is one of those movies where there might be moments that you could construe as being, that's so off the wall that it's quite funny. I just found it just really desperate. I don't think it does anything well. It's all about cost cutting. This is the most cost cutting. Everything is
done on the cheap.
As cheap as physically possible.
I did raise a smirk. I had to say, the ninja golf course attack sequence is great. I just think a golfer's getting attacked.
Yeah. I wanted to love that sequence, but it was so badly. Just the choreography was shit.
But it just had every cliched ninja thing. Ninja stars, shurikens, everything that could be cliched about ninjas was kind of ran in that 10-minute action sequence. But, I mean, everything after that was daft. It was inconsequential. It was poorly acted across the board. Yep. What's her name? Lucinda Dickey? Lucinda Dickey seemed to be a go-to for Cannon for a while. She was in both Breaking movies. I still haven't seen a Cannon movie that comes close to the first Breaking movie in terms of... I love the first Breaking movie. That makes...
Have
you seen Breaking?
I think you put it on years ago. And
have you seen it?
I'm pretty sure you showed it. I was around your gaff years ago. And I remember I could totally... the appeal of that
It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see the appeal of this. I found this really hard to pay attention to, like really hard to pay attention to. It was one of those movies where you feel like the writer is desperately trying to stop people from being bored, but it all goes nowhere.
It's fluff. It's a lot of fluff. I mean, the director, Sam Fistenberg, is your man for inept sequels. I mean, he did Breaking 2 and he did Delta Force 3.
Didn't he also... Isn't he the director of the first American Ninja? Yeah. So, I mean, his track record is not amazing.
I will say that, you know, Golden Globes were also there going, right, okay, ninja films are really big. The Exorcist is really big. Let's do a ninja possession movie.
Together, yeah.
Not surprisingly, this didn't kick off a subgenre movie.
No, I mean, it's just dull. It's so dull. It's not camp enough.
No.
It isn't badly made enough. It isn't well made enough. It's just... I think this is kind of the epicenter of bad movies. I don't think there's really anything.
No, but it's just it's a straight down the line bad movie.
It's just, I mean,
but this film has got a lot of love.
No, it hasn't.
It has. It's got a Blu-ray release. I mean,
that
people dig this movie. Trust me. There's a Facebook group, which is a Canon Facebook group, and this gets a lot of love on that on there.
It does everything it tries badly. It's a great
trailer. It's a great trailer. It's a great 90 seconds.
That's Canon in a nutshell.
That's what it. Yeah, that's what it did. It sold ideas. It did posters and it did trailers.
And then you're watching a script trying to tread water to try and keep things interesting, but not having the budget to really do anything. The romance as a violent action movie, as a horror movie, it fails terribly. It's just. I honestly think the worst film we've done since we've been doing this podcast, I think, is Slugs. This, I think, I just couldn't. I was fighting to pay attention to it. I just wanted to turn it off. I was like, nobody involved in the making of this film, nobody gave a fuck about it. I can't believe anybody has any enthusiasm for this movie. The only thing I like one thing: the fact that the villain had a beer mat for like an eye patch. He was walking around with a beer mat. Although, was he the bad guy? I mean, I don't know whose side you're supposed to be on.
He was a good guy, isn't he?
Was he?
Old Patchy.
But I mean, we're meant to enjoy the retribution initially but then again,
because there's a super bad ninja and there's a ninja that's coming to kill the super bad.
But the retribution was against cops in the beginning, but they're just doing their jobs. And then old Beer Mat Eye came and he was supposed to be a good guy, but he was like genocidal as well.
But he was avenging his father, I think, from a cut sequence that you see. Yeah. I mean, it's just dumb. I mean, if you want to go and the thing is that there's a shitload of great martial arts movies. Just go and see some Shaw Brothers. Go and check out some Sammo Hung, some Jackie Chan's. Do not waste 90 minutes on this because it's not funny enough. It's not got good action. It hasn't got a good storyline, and the acting is completely inept, but not inept enough to be funny.
No, it's not.
That's the problem. There's nothing funny. There's stuff you just smirk at. I smirked a few times. When we're cutting the video, we need to. I'm conscious that we need to have some stuff that we can cut with. So there's a sequence where two juice heads are taken out by our aerobics instructor by her throwing an extremely light metal bar at them, and it just takes these 20-stone fucking guys down. Yeah, I found it a slog to get through, even even with the meagre running time, it felt long.
Yeah, I just wanted to sleep. It sucks.
Complete toilet duck. Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm done talking about that.
Right. Okay. So let's get on to the next. Yeah. Right. Next up on parade is Death Wish 3, a year later from 1985, directed by Michael Winner. Calm down, dear. Vigilante Paul Kersey returns from LA to visit an old friend in New York City. Tragedy strikes and he is once again forced back on the streets to exact revenge on the gangs that plague the block. Death Wish 3.
Vigilante?
New York, a city pushed to the edge. People pushed to the limit, and no one's got the guts to stop them.
It's collection time, Charlie.
3 murders, 4 rapes, 9 acts of random violence. This isn't a neighborhood, it's a war.
But there is one way. One man who won't be pushed. Charles Bronson.
What's the problem? Now you're gonna die.
It'll be just like before, Mr. Vigilante, with one important difference. You're gonna work for me.
People have got to start to fight back and hard.
I sent them a message.
That's him. I'll take care of him.
Now he's in the middle of a war.
See what you done? You got me mad.
In a world gone mad, there is only one law. His Charles Bronson. Death Wish 3.
Right, so Death Wish 3, have you seen it?
I saw it probably about around 15 years ago, I was in America. I was jet lagged after travelling. I was watching one of the cable, like Showtime or HBO, I think, and I happened across Death Wish 3. I was jet lagged, couldn't sleep, and I was kind of overjoyed. I thought I'd struck gold. Because it's an objectively terrible, horrible, mean-spirited, nasty film, but there's also something joyous about it. It's so joyous and so joyously horrible. So the next day I was telling people about it. I was like, you've got to see Death Wish 3. Probably about a year ago, I noticed that all 5 Death Wishes were on Netflix UK. So I watched the first 3. I think I started the 4th and I was like, I can't do it. Why am I doing this to myself?
You did the first 3 though,
Yeah, and it had waned a little bit in my estimation. It didn't fill me with joy the way it once did. And watching it this time, I was like, I just found it depressing now. So my enthusiasm's gone for it. What about you?
Okay. I watched this like literally straight after the Ninja 3, and so this was just like a fucking breath of fresh air compared to like Ninja 3. Yeah. It is such a crass, totally politically incorrect, but not without having its moments. I mean, I was entertained. To a certain degree. I mean, Christ, it wears its fucking schlock movie heart on its sleeve. Yeah. Inner city stereotyping, police corruption have never been so brazen. Bronson is very wooden in this. I mean, Christ, he was. I think he was in his like mid-60s when he was filming.
Isn't he? Always, I mean, I watched this with a mate, and we were looking at him just going, "How the fuck?
How the fuck he's got a career?
But how is he huge as well? Like a massive international movie star."
I mean, I was watching this just going, I really don't understand it. I mean, I've seen Death Wish 1 many years ago. I don't really remember much about it, but like watching this, I was just like, how the hell did he have a career?
No, it's mental.
I mean, this film is crass, it's crude, it's far-fetched. I mean, it's actually a lot of fucking fun as well. I mean, for instance, there's a host of things that I've written down here that are worth watching it, that are worth recommending it alone. I mean, for starters, an elderly Jewish couple invite Bronson in for some dinner, and stuffed cabbage has never smelt wonderful, right?
Did he say stuffed cabbage?
Yeah, he went, That's never happened. There's a sequence, half an hour, 31-minute mark in the movie, right, where the gang have just killed a guy for being on their turf. And you can see the gang, there's a guy packing a chain, there's a guy packing a baseball bat, there's an axe, and there's one guy packing a toilet plunger.
No, there isn't. There isn't. Are you serious? Oh my god!
It's fucking brilliant. They're all like running off. They're all running off from killing this guy, and they're all brandishing weapons. And a guy just picks up on the ground and picks up a toilet plunger.
You can do some damage with that.
No one's Bend is safe. Also, I mean, there's a wonderful sequence when Paul Kersey's like right hand man. When his right hand man's wife is terribly raped and she dies, and they go to the hospital, and then the doctor breaks the news by saying she has expired. Like, fucking talk about harsh. And also any sequence with Bronson and his love interest, I mean, is gold. They have zero chemistry. That sequence when they're having dinner together, that's just a brilliant, inept, uncomfortable sequence.
Well, but as soon as they introduce her, and they're like, she's so smitten immediately.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's a New York setting, but a lot of it was apparently shot in London to keep costs down.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah, apparently Old Lambeth Hospital was used as the police station in the jail. Weird fucking music choices here, man. Like Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, and Mike Moran, who wrote the music for Time Bandits and The Missionary, composed the music for this.
Yeah, I mean, did you hear that? Apparently, Michael Winner, who's just his work here is as inept as ever. He took the score from Death Wish 2, which Jimmy Page did officially, and put it on Death Wish 3, and he just said, "Oh, this works fine. Let's just use this." So most of the soundtrack is
a complete lift.
It's directly from Death Wish 2. The song that goes over the opening credits just sounds like he's going apeshit trying to mash as many genres together as possible, and he's just discovered like electronic equipment.
It's a fucking mess of music.
It really is a fucking mess. It's chaotic, like shifting tempos all the time. I was like, wow.
It made me pause the movie to find out who did the music. I was like, who's the fucking responsible for this? And I was like, shit.
It's like he got high and just everyone had been sending him sequencers and fucking keyboards, and
I think he was total mashup.
Yeah. Do you reckon films this fucking stupid get made anymore?
No. No,
I don't think they do.
No. I mean, this is a real slice of B-movie nostalgia. I mean, just because that era of like, you know, that whole representation of gangs looking like, you know, they are basically extras from Breaking Gone Bad.
Well, did you see that one of the gang members has got dreads and like as soon as you see him move, he moves like a dancer.
Dude, that guy, you must remember this sequence, right? That is one of the funniest. I was fucking slapping I was pissing myself. That guy, when he gets punched, he flings himself. He flings himself like he's doing some like, I mean, it's a complete dance move. It's like no one has ever taken a punch and fallen like that.
No, but when I think he's harassing a couple and he's like shimmying, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's got chains and the dreads, and I was and he's just built like a dancer. You can tell he's. I mean, he must have been in Breaking. Not that I can remember anybody who was in that, but he must have been.
100%. I mean, the racial stereotypes are not subtle. I mean, the Hispanic family has a huge sombrero hanging up on the wall.
That's right. See, I'm remembering why I found it so joyous initially, because I was just like, it's so wrong. Everything
it's
about
so wrong,
it is
but
wrong.
That's it. It's so wrong, but it's kind of right.
Well, it's certainly right. I mean, this is one of the ultimate. When you're introduced to that old cop at the beginning, he says, "I am the law. I violate people's constitutional rights. That's what I do." You know, this is the bad guy. And then him and Kirsty team up at the end.
Yeah.
So it's a couple of old codgers gunning down young people. That's the solution. Because also they keep. They say the police, they're too fucking scared to come in here, and all they want to do is give good people parking tickets. It's so.
I mean, I think what is worth looking up if you haven't is the movie trivia page on IMDb. Is peppered with Alex Winter slagging off Michael Winner in the film.
Really?
Any comment with Alex Winter, he is just fucking slagging the film off. He is funny, Alex Winter, in this, because there's a sequence when I think it's actually one of the first sequences, is that he's so bored by mindless violence, he just has a bit of a kip.
Yeah, it's an action movie for xenophobic codgers, and it's as scummy as that sounds. But we talk a lot on this podcast about movies that either shouldn't be around anymore or will not be around in 15, 20, 30 years. This film is such a museum piece. I think this will be around forever. Because as horrifically unpleasant as it is.
But the last 20 minutes is great, though. I mean, it's just it delivers in spades. I mean, it's just so over the top and ridiculous. I mean, Bronson's got a minigun. He's got a rocket launcher. I mean, it's a huge body count. I feel sorry for his partner, though, who's just been given like a bicycle pump.
yeah. What is that? Is there a real gun like that?
I don't know. I felt I would be I was pretty hard done by looking at all of the fucking the arsenal that like Paul Kersey has at his disposal, and this guy's got a bicycle pump.
Yeah, sure.
But it's so wrong on so many levels. But like, you know, I found it. I was just wanting to be entertained. After the absolute drivel that was Ninja 3, this entertained me.
I can relate to that because I was there once. I think just having seen it now 3 times, I'm like, I don't need to see that anymore. I mean, it's so idiotic, and Michael Winner is so inept, and everything about it, just politically and ideologically,
it's just so wrong. It's so wrong.
It's horrible.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's not funny.
No, I'm not saying it isn't. I mean, I feel like this film has battered me. I loved when I first saw it. I was like, "You've got to see it. It's one of the best bad movies I've ever seen."
Yeah, I think if you had you had some beers in you with a group of like-minded individuals, you're going to have fun with this.
No, I'd agree with that.
And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. And this is definitely one that could be added to that pile.
Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it because I remember how enthused I was. But don't let it inspire you to go and look at the other Death Wish movies because they're just people. I think it's kind of dissipated now. But for a while, when I was growing up, people were like, "Oh, well, the first Death Wish is actually legitimately a good film." And I watched it and I was like, this is it's just a little bit less full on than the others. Yeah. What's funny is like in the original Death Wish, there's one scene where he goes, someone refers to him as a bleeding heart liberal. Right. That's all the characterization he gets. It's not some guy changing. There's no transition. It's just like some guy says that. And in this, there's a conversation where he says, I was a conscientious objector during the Korean War. And I was like, that went out the fucking
that does a lot to justify your actions.
Exactly.
I will say that I spent a lot of time when I was younger playing the Commodore 64 version of Death Wish 3.
There was a game? What was it? Just side-scrolling shooter?
Side-scrolling shooter, yeah.
Good?
With the tagline, "You are Bronson."
Was it actually a good game?
Oh, I remember playing the fuck out of it when I was younger.
I can totally understand. This will be a cult film forever.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it's, because everything's exaggerated.
Did you say that you haven't seen the 5th?
I got a little way into the 4th.
Okay.
The 5th. I shouldn't have watched. They're shit films.
Yeah.
Apart from this is this goes into the canister, the time capsule or whatever, forever, because it's so stupid. It's so stupid, and it's just hateful and horrible and shit. But it's so great. I didn't feel that way this time, but the first time I saw it, I do remember I was telling people we have to sit down and watch that movie.
Yeah. No, I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed this.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, in terms of picking a winner, where do we go?
Oh mate, Paul Kersey fucking rocket launches fucking Ninja 3 and into splinters. There's no competition here.
Yeah,
I mean, I just stay away from Ninja 3 like a dose of the clap and embrace Death Wish 4 through all its
Death Wish 3
terribleness.
Did you say Death Wish 4 just then?
Death Wish 3.
Oh, right,
avoid Ninja 3.
Oh, right, so I thought you said Death Wish 4. That Canon documentary kind of wanted you to believe that there were loads of films that broke through that were so bad they were good, and the ones that I've seen don't come anywhere near. Like I said, I think Ninja 3 is just a straight down the line bad film with basically no redeeming features. This
that hardly gets a mention on that documentary.
I think it was overly mentioned actually. I think
Ninja 3.
Yeah,
I remember Death Wish 3 getting a lot of screen time
it did,
on
but
it.
they were kind of paired up, I think, and I remember seeing the V8 drink on the chest bit, and there was some other things. But yeah, Death Wish 3 is kind of an all-time great horrible film. I'm annoyed that I watched Ninja 3.
It's just badly made. It's just a badly made
Everything
film.
about
There's nothing.
It's nothing.
There's nothing enjoyable about Ninja 3 apart from it using ninjas and it being set in the 80s. But the fighting's terrible. The combat's terrible.
All of it.
The comedy's terrible. The acting's terrible. Nothing's endearing about it. It's
Dreck.
Rubbish.
Yeah. Well,
Shite. Before we stick a nail in the coffin of this one, just a few comments from people about this pairing. Alexander Lagris is Ninja 3 all the way.
wow.
Michael Colachico, Death Wish 3 for the win.
Yeah.
Sean Gordon, Death Wish 3, Bronson takes no prisoners.
That he doesn't.
Rose ST on Facebook says Ninja 3 awesome movie.
Wow.
Wow, I tell you what, I would love to hear from people if they are big fans of Ninja 3, if they're big haters of Death Wish 3. I just, tweet in, Facebook, message us, email us. Let's keep the discussion going. That's all from us this week. We will see you in a couple of weeks' time. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Thanks for listening.
Ciao, bless.